You guys have questions, and I want to answer them here on Ask Brian. So all the questions from this video were asked in the last Ask Brian. So if you have a question you want to answer, put in the comments. It could end up in the next one. I don't know why it ended up sounding like a commercial, but yeah, there it is. I was wondering, with as many voices as you can do people actually wonder if you're speaking with your normal voice and not a character? If only I had a nickel for every time I got asked that. Let's be real here, guys. If I did pick a different voice that I was doing, I wouldn't pick this voice. The nasally, high-pitched voice that kind of sounds like a Tickle Me Elmo that got run over. Yeah, no. I would pick something a lot cooler. Like, hello all my Holomaniacs out there. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you again. I'd probably get a lot more dates with that voice. And also, doing a voice that long all the time, every time I show up, that's a lot of work. I'd rather use my regular voice. It's a lot easier for me to use. Did anyone ever tell you that you have to move to LA in order to make your voice acting dreams come true? So yes, I did hear that before I moved to LA. And that is one of the reasons I moved to LA, yes. And now that I've lived here for going on 12 years now, I can tell you definitively that at the time I moved here, that was actually the case. To get the types of voice acting gigs that I wanted, which was specifically with the bigger companies, Disney, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, all that kind of stuff, yes, I did have to be here. However, there's plenty of indie voice acting right now, and there's plenty of studios that aren't based in LA that need voiceover work. If you're in promo voiceover or commercial, you do not have to be here. Like, I've got a buddy of mine who's based out in Dallas, and he does promo work, and he's getting voice gigs left and right with everybody. The dude is doing amazing. So when you stepped into the voice of Dracula for Hotel Transylvania 4, did the directors give you access to Adam Sandler's like original reference tape or isolated vocal tracks to match the waveform? How technical does the voice matching process go? So we didn't get so technical that we looked at like waveforms, mainly because I was making Dracula say things that he never said. However, they did have libraries of his voice for me to reference when we needed to in recording. So they had a batch of him with like happy Drac, or sometimes they had something called conversational Drac, something they had with like sad Drac or mad Drac. Think of an emotion, they had like 6 or 7 lines pulled out. We'd be doing a line and they'd say like, this isn't feeling like the way Sandler would do it, let's listen to some of the reference, and then I would replicate the new line based on what he said there. But yeah, no, the voice we never really had a problem with. It was always more, are we getting Dracula's emotions out as opposed to just sounding like an impression? Are you ever gonna do a Disney feature animation ranking video, an updated one? I know I promised I was gonna do that last year, but then life happened. Yes, I'm going to do one, but when I do that, it's not gonna happen on this channel, it's gonna happen on my second channel, Brian Hall Movie Reviews. If you don't know that I'm doing that, every week we have a new video talking about the movie industry, reviewing movies, all kinds of talks like that. So if you guys want to hear my opinions on new trailers, thoughts on movies, rankings, all that stuff is gonna be over there. You definitely want to check that out. It used to be the live streaming channel, so if you're subscribed to the live streaming channel, that's what it now is. Do you ever go to sports events like baseball, football, hockey, or baseball? No. I'm not a sports guy. I wanted to bring this up because I saw a lot of comments from the last video where I talked about how the wrestling people found me. And so many people were like, you don't know who Hulk Hogan was? Nope. Y'all, my knowledge of all sports combined is so minimal. Like, I don't know anything about this stuff. The only way that I know sports people is if they go into film. The only wrestlers I ever knew about were The Rock and John Cena. And even then, I didn't know they were wrestlers until like the second or third movie that I saw them in. Those 3 names are my entire knowledge of wrestling. And all the other sports are gonna be roughly that same amount of knowledge. I think it's great you guys love sports. You guys enjoy it. It is not my thing. Y'all have fun. Are you interested in doing voice acting roles for indie animation shows if you have the chance? Yeah, I have done voices for indie animation. And I'm totally open to doing more. If you guys want to see some of the roles I've done, I have this video. You can see all the different voice acting roles I've had so far. A good chunk of which are indie films. So there you go. How long did it take to learn the impressions? Depends on the voice. Some of them I got right away. Some of them only took me a couple hours. Others took me literal like years of trying off and on till I finally got it right. Like Donald took forever. Winnie the Pooh took forever. But then like Scooby-Doo, Mickey Mouse, Stitch, all of them came relatively quickly. But yeah, what you're seeing is about 20 years of like practicing voices and learning new ones. Wow, I've literally been doing voices for over 20 years. I started when I was 13 and now I'm 34. Wow, I just put that together.
I'm spiraling! I'm spiraling!
Do you play video games? If so, what games do you play and what games have you played? Ooh, I do love playing games, but I think we'd be here a very long time if I shared like every game that I ever played. Yeah, no, I love gaming. I've got a Switch, I've got a PS5, I've got an Xbox Series X, I've got a gaming PC. I've played so many games, probably well over 100 at this point, and I've probably got more than 100 games in my backlog that I want to play. My favorite games are like collectathons. I know it's a dead genre, but whenever I find one, I get excited. Banjo-Kazooie was always like my favorite game, but more recently, like I love the Pokemon games. I've been really having fun with those lately, but I also love like Horizon Zero Dawn. That was a great game. I love God of War, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Planet Zoo was a big game for me. I loved that one. Of course, I played like the Kingdom Hearts games. I mean, like, come on. I have a Keyblade. I have to have at least played some of the games, but I've played all of them so far, except for the mobile games, but I watched the videos on them. So yeah, I've played a bunch and I plan on playing a lot more. What do you do if you're sick with a cold as a voice actor? You try not to get the cold in the first place. Obviously, if you're really sick, then the company will work with you and you can reschedule a recording time. It's not the end of the world. I've had to do that once or twice, but I really try not to. But on those days when my voice is under the weather, but I can actually like go into the studio, I've got cough drops that I use to help. There's throat coat tea, which is really helpful, or just tea with honey and lemon is also really helpful. Like anytime my voice is bad, I'll do that, and that usually can get me through a recording session at least. But if I know my voice is really bad, then I just tell them we need to reschedule. What was the first impression you ever did? That was Ruby-Dooby-Doo! Yeah, Scooby will always have a very special place in my heart. That was the first voice I ever did. I was 13 years old. I was just goofing off watching Full House and Joey Gladstone was doing Scooby-Doo impressions, and then I tried it, and then yeah, the rest is history. If you were a gym leader in Pokemon, what would your team be and type specialty be? This is fun. My favorite type is ground type, so I'd probably go there. Some of my favorite Pokemon ended up being ground types, so I've learned to love ground because of these Pokemon. Donphan would 100% be my ace, for obvious reasons. He is one of the only Pachyderm Pokemon. Of course he will be my ace. Other than that, would absolutely be Hippowdon. Hippowdon is one of my favorite Pokemon. I absolutely love him. Then I'd probably put Mamoswine. Although he is not full Pachyderm, he is Pachyderm adjacent, so he can come.
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
What? How can you do this? This is outrageous. It's unfair.
I'd probably end up having Garchomp, and if I can have a fifth Pokemon, it'd be Crocodile, because Crocodile's just cool. Do you sometimes miss doing musical theater? Yeah, I really do. I miss, like, having a cast that I get to interact with in person. With voiceover, I love it, but I don't ever see any of my other cast members. I can count on one hand how many times I've actually got to record with another actor, and when that happens, oh, it's beautiful. But yeah, with musical theater, you're seeing everybody who's involved with this. Everybody is working together. Everybody is like seeing each other, and you kind of get like this kind of feeling like you're a family, like all coming together to do all this. There's something special about that. And of course, like being able to like do the same show over and over and like try to improve it and see what you can do to mix things up some nights, and like hearing the audience is also a big thing, because like, yeah, I read y'all's comments, which are great, but to hear people like react to something I'm doing in time is just, oh, there's nothing like it. What's your opinion on Disney utilizing and exploiting AI? Yeah, I'm not thrilled about it. I don't like how much AI is trying to come into the arts, because the whole thing about art is that it's humans expressing human emotions and human experiences in a way that is engaging towards other humans. So taking the humanity out of art is missing the point of art. How would you describe your experience collaborating with other YouTubers? I don't think I've ever had a bad experience collaborating with another YouTuber. I've enjoyed collaborating with everyone in the past. Like, sometimes I think about it and I do get sad, because there was like a generation of YouTubers that I came up in that most of them have either quit making videos or they moved on to other things or they're doing completely different stuff. And I'm one of the few creators that are still doing what they were doing like a decade ago. So in some ways I'm sad about that, but I mean, I cherish the memories that I have with them. I would like to collab more. Things change, people move on, and people's lives change. But it's exciting to see what they're doing. And finally, what's your favorite Bible verse? Yes, my favorite verse is Lamentations chapter 3, verses 22 through 23. I know, you're probably thinking, Lamentations? Why on earth is that the book where your favorite verse is. I've always been enamored with Lamentations because like the first few chapters are just horrible, awful, despair, terrible things happening. But then chapter 3 comes in and it's just like, hey, but despite all of this, I still give glory to God and He's in control and all these amazing things. Like just imagine hearing all these terrible things happening, the greatest despairs you can ever imagine. And then hear this verse. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I want that kind of faith where no matter what's happening, no matter what horrible thing I'm going through or whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm experiencing, that I can say this regardless. Hey, I'm going through something, but I'm not going through what this person did, and look what they could say. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!